everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am going to do a story time today on how my VNS surgery went. And it did not go so good, let's just say that. I was in the hospital for quite a long time. I was having some severe pain, and as well as I found out some very unexpected news. I had a TIA, which is a mini stroke, as they like to say. There was no permanent damage that they know of, but they did notice that my droop on my face on one side, which was on my, my right side, I believe. Yeah, my right side. Had to think about it. That it was very droopy. And my arm, I've had TIAs before, but on my left side of my brain. But this time it had developed on my right side. And so let's just say it was severely affected. And yeah, but because I had my surgery on my left side, they thought the left side would be affected. But actually, it was not. It was affected by my right side, which can happen sometimes. That's a little snippet about that. And so yeah, let's get into the discussion. So I had all these tests done, and they had discovered that I in fact did have a TIA. Knowing my symptoms, I did have an echocardiogram the next day, an MRI, even though you're not really supposed to go in MRI machines with a vagal nerve stimulator, but because it was turned off, I could go into the MRI machine. They just had a nurse come check it out and stuff and keep it off. And then I did go for a CAT scan that night. They did call a code stroke because I was technically in that kind of care. I needed immediate medical treatment for that. They gave me a blocker to stop the clots from forming. So they gave me clot buster, I believe is what it's called. I said clot so they gave me a clot buster. Sorry, my words are stumbling here. Clot buster, and I got that. They did an immediate blood work. They also did put me on long-term medication. So because I've had other TIAs, which makes my fourth one now, it was very severe. It was very scary. Even though I've had others in the past, this was my most scariest one because it was due from a surgery. So my body is very sensitive. I've had brain surgery in the past. That's another story for another time. So I've had brain surgery as well, which that I'm aware of. I did not have any after that surgery, but I did after this specific surgery. They went into a nerve in my neck, which could have caused stroke. They're not sure exactly what happened, but they do know it was a positive TIA. Also knowing my history, I am on 2 medications right now for clotting purposes, so I do not no longer have to worry about a long-term effect of a big stroke that could occur. That doesn't mean I'm completely protected, but that just means that there would be a less chance of me having a bigger stroke and causing life permanent damage versus, you know, being protected with medication and stuff. Yeah, like I was saying, so I am on those medications that do prevent those things from happening. They're blood thinners, as they give to people who have had strokes in the past and stuff like that. So they do give that kind of stuff to people with history of it. And so yeah, that was a little story time about that. And yeah, so the other thing too was that there was a little concern of the possible effect of the surgery long term, but there's been no long term effect of the surgery. There's been nothing but benefits. But that can happen. There's a small chance when you get a vagal nerve stimulator placed or any type of surgery in the nerves of strokes. Any type of surgery that relates to the brain or the nerves can happen, but it's a very slim chance. There's not many people that have that effect, especially with a vagal nerve stimulator. My doctor even said that it was a very, very low chance, but I was one of those cases, unfortunately. But there was nothing to worry about otherwise. There's not any other permanent damage to the stimulator itself. I did have some other after effects of it, which was an infection. I do get chronic infections. So that was another obstacle hurdle I battled, was in and out of the hospital with severe epileptic seizures, because I didn't have the stimulator on, so nothing was benefiting me. Um, and yeah, after I got the stimulator turned on, I was still in process of healing though. I decided that I need to go back to the hospital. I had another infection. So I got checked out for an infection right here on this incision. You can't really see it now, which is so good. My incisions have healed so good, even on my chest over here, right here. That is healed so good. You can hardly, if I had a picture, which I think I do, I might put it into this story time, as I like to say. But I might not. It's very graphic. I don't really think I would want to put that in this video. It's not really something that other people should see. It can be traumatizing to people. And so anyways, the healing went very well after those obstacles. My neck is still healing. It still has a long ways to go, as I should say. My doctor said there's still a lot of healing that needs to be done inside there. They did make 2 incisions, so it's not a pretty process. And because my extension of my healing process was unfortunately extended just because of the constant things that were coming up with having to be admitted right after surgery, because I came home for a little bit and the next day was back into the hospital. As I was in uncontrolled pain, it wouldn't go away. I couldn't do anything, couldn't eat, couldn't do much. I was not feeling great. So I went, and luckily I did, because there was some very severe things that were going on that I didn't even know were going on. So yeah, I do take, so it's similar to Coumadin. It's called Plavix. And so basically I have to take blood thinners possibly for the rest of my life, to avoid certain clottings. That means that certain cardiac medications that if I would need in the future, I could not take because I'm on blood thinners. I do have other cardiac issues. They did notice on my echocardiogram, I might put a picture into this story time and a couple other pictures of some certain documentations I don't mind sharing of certain testings, that might explain a little bit further to you guys who watch my channel all the time. But the echocardiogram didn't show some good things. It didn't show anything severe, but a chronic issue that I do have with my heart. But that's being followed up by a cardiologist, as well as some other medical issues that came up. But I am all in the clear from that TIA. I have not had any more issues. There has been some permanent effects, though, from some aspects of the surgery. Some chronic pain in my neck and stuff and over here. But it doesn't bother me, though. That's the thing. It's getting better over time, especially my neck. But, where the incision is, it is very sore. I try not to touch it and stuff. Try to just relax a lot and not do too much with my neck, even though it's really hard. But yeah, so everything so far is a-okay. So yes, this will be up on my channel when it comes out. And I will put this clip into the story time just so you can see the echocardiogram, because I don't have it in front of me to specifically tell you every little exact thing that did happen. But all I can say was I do have some chronic underlying issues that were going on at the time that they found that need to be taken care of. I'm all set with that now. I have a doctor that's taking care of all my medical issues. I am going to do an unexpected another story time about my brain surgery. So I had brain surgery when I was a kid. That will be another story time. I'm not going to go in depth, but that will be another story time. And that's going to be a very interesting one, because not everything I remember, but that will be very interesting because it ties into why I have certain medical conditions, and it'll give you a little bit of a more of a picture of why I have a vagal nerve stimulator as well, and why I had brain surgery. Because that's not expected of a 23-year-old, or when I had my brain surgery at 8 years old. I believe it was 8 or 12 at the time. I was very young. Let's just say that I was very young. I don't remember off the top of my head the time, um, age I had my surgery at, but I was very young. It was a long surgery. That's going to be a separate story time. So I hope you all enjoyed this story time. I'm going to add the clip into this right now, and I'm going to end talking.